Today we have a little rudiment lesson, and some of you may have heard of this particular rudiment before. Some of you may not have. If you haven't, thanks for watching. If you have, watch anyway. You might find something else you didn't know. Today we're going to look at the flam. Okay, now this is the start of a whole nother bunch of rudiments that come from this one rudiment. Okay, so it's very, very important that you understand the basics of this particular rudiment. Okay, the flam. Now, an easiest way to thinking about it is kind of two notes that almost hit at the same time, right? That's one way of thinking of it, okay? But the best way to approach a flam is they have to hit not quite at the same time, and the main stroke in this case, the right hand is going to be your accent, and the hand before it that strikes just before it is considered what we call a ghost note or a grace note. Now, in notation, when you write it down, it actually has no rhythmic value whatsoever. So it's still counted as, if you see a flam like that, it's still counted as one note or a quarter note. Okay. So on the PDF attached, you'll be able to see the notation and how it looks when it's written down. And a lot of the time they just write it as, either a right hand or a left hand, and you have to understand that the other hand does the little grace note before it, okay? So basically the good position to be in to do a flam is, to start with, is like this. So we have the left hand nice and low, all right? About, centimetre off the drum, and then you got your right hand up like so, all right? And what I'm going to do basically is, rather than try to play the left hand first, because you don't want to lift at all, you just want to drop from where you are, all right? So I'm just going to drop the two hands together, and generally speaking, you get a flam, okay? Like so. Now, the thing to do at this point is to actually swap the hands. So as the left hand plays, as it drops, I'm going to lift it up into the raised position, because that's going to be the next stroke that happens afterwards, okay? So you'll get this. And then you repeat the other way around. Okay, now most people ask, why do I need, a lot of my students anyway in the past have asked, what do I need to know a flam for? Well, it just gives you something a little bit extra on your drums. It's great in some opening fills. So I'm going to play you two opening fills that I might do at the start of a song, for instance, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play. This is B on your PDF. Okay, so two very, very popular opening fills from me anyway, if I have to. Now, it just sounds a lot more fuller than just going whack, whack with the one stroke. So, you've got the opportunity to do a big flam. It just sounds like one fat snare drum, okay? So really good to introduce into your opening fills, but also like the next example, letter C, we're going to look at it in an example, in a fill as well, okay? So I'm going to play a groove, and I'm going to go into a fill using the flams, and then I'm going to go back into the groove. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so again, a bit of colour, all right? Lastly, I'm going to play a fill that uses flams going around the drums here, and you may have heard this fill before. And what I want you to do is, if you know what it is, I want you to write. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you know what it is, I want you to write into us and tell us what it is. All right? So you probably would have heard it before. All right? So I'm gonna play it for you, and we'll see what happens.